Good afternoon, traders. This is Michael and Paul coming to you from GammaEdge on Sunday, February 13th. We're going to do a market recap of last week, some things we were watching in the room, and I think some vital turning points that we looked at on Thursday into the Friday volatility. And then we're going to discuss the upcoming week and look over a couple charts with respect to the Gamma and technical analysis. So go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so let's just get right into it here. We start everything looking at the market, so it's good to know what transpired over the last week in the market. For those of you who are not familiar, this is a cumulative tick. We also have a breadth indicator up here of the 52-week new high, new lows. Anytime you see the red line on top, we've got terrible breadth, and the 52-week new lows are just completely dominated and just pounding everything. You can see that here. So that right there is a big warning sign in general, and that really hasn't resolved even with the uptrend that we had here. Friday saw, in addition to what we saw Thursday, some definite risk off in the afternoon. Same thing on Thursday, and that's a big deal too. This is the filtered cumulative tick, and it only generally moves when there are more orders being presented to the exchanges than can be filled in the form of sweeps. And so what happens is these are big orders and they're just waiting to get filled, and that drives the tick up. And then if the tick's over a certain level, we go ahead and accumulate that. When it's pointing down like this and it's doing it successively over days, you can tell there's a risk off environment. This is the unfiltered tick, this third plot. It's the same thing as this, but no filter. And it gives us a sense of what the retail is doing, some buying, some selling, kind of flat selling. And for the day over day, you can see that the mood has changed from earlier in the week. The bottom here is probably where the story is for the week. We started fairly strong. Each of these is a day. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. And you can see we came out of Monday very strong, Tuesday strong. Wednesday was an incredibly strong day. We call this a linear up signal, where it's just, you got railroad tracks in terms of the moving averages. We're breaking some historical moving average turning points, and it just looked really, really good on Wednesday. Thursday, continuation until midday, until Ballard opened his mouth, and we got this reversal bar, and this really set the tone for risk off. Looked like we were going to try to recover Friday morning, and then, as everyone knows, we went to new lows. SPX is superimposed on this. You can see what the behavior of the SPX is. Anything else to add there, Michael?
No, I think it's important, especially for swing traders or even intermediate or intraday traders. Obviously, we're not news-driven traders. We use gamma and data analysis for our thesis. But when you see a tick like this, just kind of do a total turn about face, and you have this large of selling come in, you have to sit up and take notice and manage your risk, no matter what actually happened on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I was positioned long Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, actually from the previous Friday,
Yep.
And took some profits. I posted in the room on Friday, took some profits on IWM, TNA, and just to kind of secure, because we were coming in some overhead levels. And then Thursday was pretty much just risk off into the evening. So I think you have to make sure that you're looking at the overall picture. Obviously, the market's still in a volatile state, and you have to make sure that you're just managing your risk extremely well.
Correct. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and take us through some of your charts, and then I'll wrap up by showing some of the gamma levels that are setting up for the beginning of the week.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so this is obviously a SPY chart, a 15-minute SPY chart. We have some gamma levels marked with the yellow area that we're watching. These were just kind of like some anchor points that we would watch for price. Also, they matched up really well with confluence for TNA, kind of supply and demand areas. I was really watching this 445, 444, 445, that lower area into the Thursday, Friday, and once we went below that, you can see just the selling just picked up. So I think one of the things that we're trying to mesh with the gamma and the TA is that once you break certain gamma levels, you get an acceleration either direction, obviously, of of orders coming in and trades being executed. So I think those are important points. And once we have those mapped out, we can use those as areas of interest to look at and kind of see how price reacts. We just kind of completed an engulfing candle on the SPX on the daily on Friday. Fairly bearish, broke the 200-day, and now we're looking at levels below. So there's really nothing bullish that I can say at the moment once we're below the 200-day, and then obviously with the negative gamma environment. So next week, really, I mean, if you don't have a sound trading plan and a good risk management plan, you can not trade basically and protect your capital, or just do some risk off based trading basically just to protect your capital.
So one of the key things I think is that we're looking for here is, and we cover it every day of the week. So in the YouTube channel, there have been some videos that have been posted, and I would urge everyone to go take a look at those. Let's see if I can call that up here for you. Yeah, so the YouTube channel's got a number. It is the GammaEdge YouTube channel, and if you the link should be available. You can search on it. There is also a GammaEdge monofilament fishing line, so you may want to just scroll down a little bit until we start populating higher there. In wrap up, it's useful to take a look at the gamma levels that are being presented with this. Now, this is a preliminary view. It's going to change with Monday morning with the OCC updates, but overall, this is really the mothership, $6.1 trillion instrument here between the AM and the PM settled. And this really does set up the boundaries for where we think we're going to be headed. So overall negative gamma condition, expect higher volatility, expect wider moves. You can see, even though the markets are closed right now, we're expecting a fairly significant move on Monday. Could be even higher than this once we start getting some of the European updates and things related to that. This net GEX level, it's the net gamma exposure, very negative. This is a very strong negative level with a magnitude that is very significant. So all things are pointing, in addition to the red that you see here, are pointing to a negative gamma environment. Some things that just to take away, 4,700 is the upper goalpost, 4,400 is the lower goalpost. I think it's important to also acknowledge that another view that we have here actually points to 4,300 as being even another goalpost that's available to us. And because Monday is a zero DTE, a zero expiration day, we are going to see a lot of gamma vaporize. If the markets are bullish and they continue to add negative gamma in the form of puts, that will drive prices down, and you can see this 4,300 level sitting down here. It's useful to take a look and to see in general what is expiring on Friday, or excuse me, on Monday. And we do have a very large level expiring down here at 4310, excuse me, as well as at 4300. And you can see we really don't get up into what I call the neutral area or a flip area up until 5200, 4500, 4510, right in that particular area there. So I think we're going to continue to play down here. I think it's important to acknowledge that it's going to be pretty volatile on Monday, and as a result, be very, very careful if you're going to play the ranges. If we get down to the 4,400, it's very, very possible we could go down to 43. If we start moving up into this neutral area around 4,500, there's not a lot up there right now, as you can see, that's expiring, so there's not going to be a lot, with the exception of these being closed, that could push us much higher. Michael, anything else to add there?
No, I think that negative net gamma that you pulled up earlier, that 1.2 billion, that's a very large number. So obviously we know the dealers will be selling weakness and exacerbating those moves to the downside. So I think that's just extremely important to just kind of your overall thesis. If you were thinking about doing anything on the long side, you just need to make sure you manage your risk carefully, and since we're in a negative gamma environment. So.
Correct. All righty. Well, again, want to thank everyone for making the time today. You can reach us www.gammaedge.us for a subscription. Also, you can follow us on Twitter and on YouTube. So thanks everyone. Have a great Sunday, and we'll see you on the media.